Okay, so I'm going to do my best to explain this project in one take. I bought a 10-inch Zenith CRT. It was $90 Canadian, off of Facebook Marketplace. Originally, this machine only took RF input, which is this thing, which is pretty shitty. That would mean the input signal was very messy. So right now I'm getting a nice clear picture, but before this you would see like reds and like some blurriness, and now it's pretty much crystal clear. So anyway, in order to do that, I had to well, first of all, I didn't want to reverse engineer this circuit board. I just don't have the time and to obtain the knowledge to figure that out. So I went online and I found this document. I had to pay $20 for it, but it was totally worth it. I slapped it on archive.org after, and it is extremely comprehensive. It's by a company called SAM. Apparently, they do tons of these technical documents. But anyway, what I found here was this is the video processing chip. Over here is the tuner for the RF input, and this down here is the audio chip. And I had to, like, I learned some really cool things about how to read these types of documents. In particular, there's this amazing grid system right here. And if you want to look up where anything is, you literally just look up the little part here. So like M15 is RX 3201. So if I go to wherever it is here, sorry, it's hard to like point my finger in M15. So like somewhere over here is where that part would be. And then you associate that with the schematic right up here. Now I had to, having two copies of this open was very useful to be able to see both. Anyway, the first thing I had to do was research, okay, what's the difference between RF and composite video? Basically, RF just encodes everything into one signal, and then the tuner chip is what decouples everything, demodulates everything. I'm probably gonna use the terminology wrong as I go along here. I'm fairly fresh to all this, but then I noticed in my research, like I learned that this is actually called composite video. Like normally I call it RCA video, and normally I know they're called composite inputs, but I didn't know like there's literally no other name for this. It's composite video. So I noticed over here, video out CV. I'm like, CV, that must be composite video. Perfect. And if we follow that line, we can see it stops right here at these three little jumper spots, which is precisely this little spot right in there where this little black thing is. So I actually ripped this out of an old power supply, and I just slotted it in there very nicely. It fits perfectly on this to this board's little pins, and then I simply just wired it up to an RCA input thing that I also ripped out of a broken RF to RCA board that I had laying around. It was broken when I got it, so Amazon replaced it for free. But yeah, so I salvaged that, and then I just wired up the composite video and the ground right to those, and it just worked like beautifully. Like the picture is absolutely perfect now. So I can tune it with the knobs over here, and shit will happen. See, it's getting darker, lighter. But that left me with an issue. And the issue was audio. So audio for this board, again, it comes through the RF. It all comes through this one freaking input, and then that travels into the tuner board, which is actually in the front here, in that metal box, which corresponds to this. Now, if we follow this along, like, it just demodulates it into here, and I think this does the decoding. Or sorry, it does the amplifying. It's an amplifier, but the issue is it cannot take like the RCA audio directly. Now, what I did was I actually went further and I found other TV sets from Zenith, and it turns out this exact board is like reused in like 10 different models, and this audio chip is configured in like 3 different ways for every model. So I was able to figure out actually with the unused pins down here were actually 4, and apparently pin 4 and 5 are for digital audio. 1 and 2 are for like this RF audio, but no matter what I did, no matter what configurations I put this thing into, it just wouldn't accept the RCA video. I really like destroyed the shit out of the chip over here. You can see it's like all dark, like black and shit. So yeah, what I did was I off of where was it? Not off of Adafruit. I got their little amplifier board, very tiny, but this thing has a little pot right where my pinky is. It's very hard to see, but I can turn that little thing, and that's the volume. Now, since this is like a kind of a like this TV is really for just like off the cuff retro gaming. So I'm probably gonna leave this low. I'm gonna have it exposed through the back. I 3D print again. This is the 3D printed backing I did. I'm probably gonna redo this, or at least post process it, because it looks like absolute shit. I'm gonna expose that board through here, through this side, so I can at least change the audio if I ever want to. But I'm probably never gonna change it. So yeah, I had to find a voltage source that also had like consistent amperage, because I learned like through trial and error here that you can't just hook into anywhere. So at first I tried it with the original spot over here, which was hooked into the audio chip. That gave 3 volts, but even though it gave so yeah, sorry, I need to back up 1 second. This chip takes between 2 to 5 volts. So this spot over here was perfect for that. I hooked it up, and it was actually just turning on and off, on and off, on and off. And to me, that signaled that there just wasn't enough amps coming out of it, and that power source that was connected to the old audio chip was doing something else. So I gave up on that. I went back to the drawing board. I said, okay, where on this whole freaking schematic, where can I find like a stable source, right? And after like searching through a couple pages, I actually just landed back up here, right here. There's a nice, beautiful 5 DC voltage source. It's not connected to anything else. So I found it. It's like somewhere back there. And once again, I ripped out a freaking, I ripped out like more ports from an old power supply, because they just fit perfectly in this thing. And then I hooked it up to the RCA to here. These 2 black wires are going out to the 5-volt power source and ground. The green and the black are hooked right up to the RCA, and these are going right to the speaker, which get hooked up, which is right there. So if I just, for 1 second, this is going to get loud probably for a moment. But this is a success. And then I just have to solder this together and clean it up, and we're done. So yeah, works really nice. And that was this project probably could have taken 2 days, but I wasted probably 2 days alone on the audio board. Come on. I wasted 2 days alone on trying to get that audio chip. Like I originally just wanted to try and use the original hardware entirely. I'm trying to clean this thing up. But that completely failed. Well, half, because it's using the original video circuitry, which is fantastic. So really, this is the only custom part in the whole thing. This cost me $6. And yeah, that's it. I hope it's been a neat little video. I have to show people, have to just capture how I did this for probably future me.
Press the button.